Alright boys and girls, and welcome back to another building video. The Barzini expands from everybody's favorite footprint into one of the most antagonizing little funnels, with 2 meta all-in-one compound outposts. Expanding higher grants us to further loot space. Next, we enter our shooting floor, a stable zone leaving no angle unchecked. And lastly, our roof houses 2 5 HV turrets that cover this open space of angles and head glitches. Plus, there's plenty of space for a couple of these to sit there too. And we're back into a brand new tour on a brand new base. Let's start off in front of the external, but ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. Alright troops, new merch drop. A zero branding desk mat with flawless print and stitching, manufactured by the best. And I personally have a collection of Epic desk mats right here. Epic Desk is a Facepunch backed company that provide a certificate and custom order number, so let me know what order number you guys get. This art depicts a topography sky looking over the base that won Twitch Rivals. One of my favorite designs. Every mat purchased is going to help the channel massively. If you choose to do so, the link will be in the description down below to head to Epic Desk and cop the mouse mat. It's been a full year since I've ran a sponsor with Epic Desk, and I use their product every single day, so it's awesome to be back at it with them. Let's go on to the tour now. Of course, we're outside of Satori disconnectable. Placing a ramp on that wooden foundation would disconnect the TC, allowing us to move it or replace it on the inside in case it was broken. Over here we have our gatehouse with some nasty Patricos down and along through that compound. You can back up on the box to see down below, or go in the large box to look above. A couple of turrets here with a bit of chain link in between them and their line of sight, making it a couple more HVs to break. Over here is our large furnace, and you can see that it fits in there snugly, which turns that one wooden high wall into something much stronger to get through. Heading further round, we go through a nice double door funnel that's of course spammed with traps. Further round again, another shotgun trap right in the face, and then boom, our illegal peak. The broken head glitch. If any of those high walls are breached, our gatehouse, anything like that, we have a nasty head glitch to use on anyone who could be outside. Next, we'll head through our single door, and this comes through to the bedroom compound outpost module here. We have our Patricos that look down through the compound, and they're going to want to be normal stone. Looks like Adobe doesn't look too good for them. But there we go, some nice long angles throughout the compound, and a locker in here with our beds too. Nice little chain link turret on top of our breach peak. And our breach peak is going to be super useful for looking outside of compound, but of course, peeking back up on top. If anyone wants to ladder over the top to dodge the funnel, that's where we will peek them and kill them. Then we have our embrasure here that looks through to a nice little loot room as well. We can store some stuff out here. Of course, these compound outposts are going to be essential to defending the base, so you're going to want to keep them stocked up with loot. Then we can head in on out and round, and we have one entrance that leads into our base. You can see the rest of the compound mimics, leading finally through to that one double door. Immediately we are met with a jump up, and that allows us to honeycomb our core 2x1, which is nice. Got some loot space on the second floor, and space for anything else that you can think of. Then we can head further around to our jump up / drop down into our main core 2x1. Super standard little 2x1 here. You can do this however you usually like to set it up, but the nice thing about this is it expands from a 2x1, so say you throw this down and the wipe goes better than expected, you can go ahead and build this as your main base. Then we can jump all the way up to our 3rd floor, and again we've got even more space up here. 4 deployables, and of course 2 access points and 2 jump ups, and a way out to shooting floor. Our shooting floor is filled with peaks, not to mention Patricos on every corner, giving us nice nasty head glitches out and around, whilst allowing us to have some spots to hide whilst inside the shooting floor. Really good peek downs, really good head glitches, leaving no angle unchecked, which is exactly what we need from a shooting floor. This double door also funnels, which is nice. You can trap anyone inside there that's trying to go deep from shooting floor. That funneled door is going to really slow them down. Then you can jump up to this roof level, where we do have some more respawns, spots for boxes, anything else like that. And of course, spam doors in here, get that raid cost nice and high, and spread your loot between all the levels. Couple of windows before we head out into our roof. Roof is filled with a lot of nice peaks, again, down and around, giving us head glitches and more space all around the base. All of this is covered by 2 5 rocket HV turrets, tucked away behind chain link underneath our windmills, which is super nice. And that pretty much wraps up today's base. Hopefully you boys and girls are interested in building it. This base comes in at a fair cost for duos and trios. Starting off with the build cost, and here it is in box amounts, so it's easier to visualize. And lastly is that total upkeep that's spread between 5 TCs, the main TC taking up the majority of that upkeep. And now we'll go ahead and jump into the tutorial. Alright, let's kick it off with a 2x1 footprint here. Nice and simple. TC's going in the back left corner, And that's in preparation for the shelf coming in later on that we can bring through from our jump up. Wrapping around like so, and we've got the double single door airlock. Easy to expand from. There's that jump up and the shelf dragging through, like I was saying before. And that's Starbase done. We can jump up to second floor now, and we will prep for the third floor jump up by leaving this roof open and sealing with a double door, ensuring nobody can get in from there. Then you'll wrap around the rest of the second floor and build a loot room in the center. Ramps and a window to honeycomb that a little bit. And then from there you can wrap it in frames, get a floor on top, and we'll drop down the front of the 2x1 to honeycomb it. Get those walls filled in, and we'll get a furnace jump up here, or any other deployable that you have on you at the time. Go ahead and jump up from here, and finish off the combing. Wrap that in walls. We'll wall that part in as well, we don't need it. And then finish it off with a frame. Second floor is done and dusted. Let's jump out to compound now, and we're going to come round to the outpost side. Start with a small build out, and then finish it off with a line of triangles with the squares on either end. Once you add in the square, you can break the triangle next to it, and that's going to let us wrap around in triangles, creating that funnel that we're looking for. There we go. Then we can add a square off of main base, and you can see how that's going to create our shooting floor footprint. Finish it off with a breach peak on this side, and then we can go ahead and upgrade everything else. Just like that. That raised foundation cannot be Adobe, by the way. For whatever reason, it does block roof placement, which is not what we're needing, so yeah. And from there, we'll create the rest of this kind of breach peak section, keeping in mind we're going to have that turret, so that's why we have space for chain link and the double entrance there. Adding in our roofs now, and of course, if you do have any placement issues, it could be an Adobe raised foundation. Then from there, the bedroom gets one window, and the rest of it is wrapped inside walls, just like that. We'll have our entrance to our funnel with a single door, double door entrance, just like that. And remember, there is a loot room in the center of all this. Last thing to do is keep in mind we do have some peaks on the bedrooms, so we'll do that. Next to our peak, we do have a spot for a double door funnel as well, where we can get some shotgun traps in, but we're making sure we still have plenty of visibility from the bedroom. Same over here, add a ceiling on top of the rest of the funnel. And there we go. That's that compound house completed. It's going to be decaying though at the moment, so we're going to go ahead and build an external disconnectable TC. Coming out with 4 squares, double half wall there, don't forget that, super important. Then you have the rest of the external to do whatever you'd like to do with. Link that back up with frames, you'll do a small build out here so you can get the stability originally. And then from there you can demolish and it will stay up. Perfect, let's do that on the opposite side. Okay, that's done and dusted. Now we're going to move on to the front of the base here with another section. A little bit different this time, different funnel. Once we've built out this in twig, we can have our gatehouse, just like so. We've got an extra triangle on that gatehouse for our Patrico peaks, and of course a spot for a turret too. And then we'll build the rest of the gatehouse as normal. Up towards the base, we're going to have this funneled section where we do have those nice concrete barricade peaks. So we'll prep for those as well. Raising frames up for that shooting floor and roof later on too. Sometimes the concrete barricade can be a little bit annoying and blocks the placement of things. So we're going to get everything down first, then get that concrete barricade in there afterwards. In between our funnel and gatehouse, we have spots for chain link here to block that turret and make it a little bit stronger. Making sure we can still fit underneath it. You should be able to as long as your foundations are not incredibly low. And then the build out for that concrete barricade is simply 2 triangles of any grade with the concrete barricade on top. This can go wrong. You could need a little bit of practice, so prep a couple extra concrete barricades or practice this on a build server beforehand. Try it from each way direction and you should get it. There we go. Once you've done that, we can connect all of this to an external TC as well. Again, double half wall, and then the rest of it is completely up to you, or you can copy what I've done. Get that TC in there and link everything up with frames, and we can break those foundations leading towards. Perfect. We'll go ahead and do everything we just did on the opposite side now. Then from there we can add in a couple of high walls, and we're going to place them exactly as I do. 2 high walls will fill up the gap with an almost 90-degree angle in there to accompany our large furnace. Just make sure we're all looking around before we do our placement. As for the furnace, we're going to back up into the funnel, we're going to raise it as high as we can, and then we're going to push it as far back into the high walls as we can, ensuring we don't accidentally grief ourselves inside our base. So just be careful you don't do that. The placement here is precise, so we need to be careful. Once you've done that, we're up to 3rd floor now. We can take that door off, and we can start building the 3rd floor. We have 2 jump ups to the next floor, we have 2 exits out onto shooting floor, and then we have space for deployables in the center of the 2x1. So keep all of that in mind as we go along. Then from there we can head out to shooting floor and start raising up these frames, as I do. Keeping in mind we do have some half walls here that's going to help with the roof later on and give us some Patricos inside our shooting floor. Then we can just add in our floors, creating those peak downs. Then from there you can add in these extra frames so we can get our double doors in covering up that gap in shooting floor. And that's pretty much all the difficult parts for shooting floor. A couple of extra frames for stability, finishing off those windows, and then when we throw a ceiling on top, we're going to match exactly what is below. So nice and easy to do that. Okay, working on our roof, we'll start by sealing off our airlocks, then adding in our bedrooms. Then we'll airlock out into our roof, giving us ourselves a window too. Add a ceiling on top of everything, and then from there we can build those little mountain roof peak style things. Raising those frames up a little bit higher, just so we can use them. Raising up those frames that I forgot as well from shooting floor. And then from there we can add in our low walls and our windows, giving us those peaks. We do mimic the door from below in shooting floor, that's also going to come through as well. And we can do the exact same thing on the opposite side. And then from there we can add in our windmill towers with that chain link tower up top, using that classic shelf that I've gotten addicted to. And once we've completed that, throw our windmills on top. And that finishes off the base design. Hopefully you boys and girls have enjoyed this one. If you did, then please feel free to leave me a like and drop me a comment down below. And please consider copying one of those desk mats from the description down below. It would mean an absolute ton to me. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See you in a bit.